Ms. Taylor and Ms. Johnson, you both claim that you were pregnant at the same time with the defendant, Mr. Barbers' children.
Yes, Your Honor.
You argue that he has not been a father to your kids and refuses to support them, but takes care of his other child.
Yes, Your Honor.
In your joint statement, you say that despite having issues with one another in the past, you are here today united to confront Mr. Barber.
Yes.
Mr. Barber.
Yes, ma'am.
You counter that the only reason you can't support the children you have with Ms. Taylor and Ms. Johnson is because they ask for too much money.
Yes, ma'am.
And they create too much drama.
Yes, ma'am.
So, that's quite a defense. Now, Ms. Taylor,
Yes, Your Honor.
why do you believe he supports his other child and not yours?
I believe that he supports his other child because he's still sleeping with his other child's mother.
No, we're not.
He had 3 women pregnant at the same time. He is a dog. He doesn't do anything for my child.
That's
I
not
have
true,
to
Your
take
Honor.
care of my child
That is
by
not true,
myself.
Your Honor.
Excuse me, I'm
That is
talking.
not true, Your
I am
Honor.
talking. You do not
That is not
interrupt
true,
me
Your
when
Honor.
I'm talking.
Okay,
Shut your mouth
let's
right
settle
now
down.
and let me talk.
Ms.
Now, wait.
Taylor, I'll handle Mr. Barber. You just talk to me. Now, finish your story.
I've been having to take care of my child on my own for the last 5 years. He does not do anything for her. He only wants to deal with women that he can control. He's crazy. He's lost his mind.
There we
Mr.
go.
Barber?
Yeah.
Is somebody calling you? Jerome, answer it and see if it's a woman.
We already know this.
They probably never call back again if they find out you're in fraternity court.
Cut it off?
Probably would.
I wouldn't be shocked.
So, Mr. Barber, you wholeheartedly admit that you are the father of all the children.
Yes, ma'am.
So if I saw the birth certificates,
I have signed every single one of them.
Ms. Johnson,
Yeah, he's on mine. Is he on yours?
You know mine.
Ms.
Yeah,
Taylor,
Oh, okay. Yeah. Cut the umbilical cord and everything.
What?
Yeah. Did he cut the umbilical cord for you? Oh, how about you, Cash?
oh, you done started
okay.
something now.
For real?
Oh,
You
my
cut
bad.
her son's umbilical
You
cord?
know that I was there.
Now
You
you
know
seem
that,
like
though.
you're getting
Your Honor.
emotional. That hurt your
There's
feelings?
no.
You know what? Like, I had my daughter by myself. My mother's deceased. My family could not get there. He was not there. I called him and told him that I was being induced. He came. He stayed for 24 hours. You know, when you get induced, you never know when the baby's going to come. He
do.
stayed for the first 24 hours and he left. I called him and I said, I'm 10 centimeters. I'm getting ready to push. He didn't come. He didn't come. I had her by myself. I was there. I pushed that baby out by myself.
But I didn't show up. I wasn't there.
You
I
did
didn't
not
show up.
come
I didn't show
until
up.
hours
I didn't show up. But
later.
why?
You did
why?
not come until
Why?
hours
What did I tell you I was
later.
doing? What did I tell you I was doing?
What were you doing?
What was I doing? I was at work.
I don't know. You always lie. You always lie and say that you somewhere and you
I don't have to
find out
lie to you
don't
about
be
where I'm at.
there.
I can tell this is an emotional subject. And Ms. Taylor, I can see from your face you didn't see it coming once Ms. Johnson said he cut the umbilical cord on her child.
He cut the umbilical cord, but even when I was in labor in the delivery room, he was on the phone with her and other women in front of my family. Making
Mama, I
me look
wasn't with you
stupid.
when we had my child. I was not
Whatever.
with you.
Oh, no,
Yes,
but
I
you
was
said we
there
were
with
about
my
to be
child.
together.
I cut
You
the
said we
umbilical
was
cord.
gonna be
Yes,
together.
I admit
You
that
said
I
we
was
was gonna be
not a
together.
good
You wasn't
person.
sitting there talking with me.
I admit
We
that.
wasn't
I'm not
supposed to be
saying
sitting
that,
there saying we
that
was
I was the
together.
perfect person.
Yeah,
I'm not
Barbara,
saying that.
Mr. Barbara,
But that's
I know
not what we on trial
I
about
know
here.
you-
I want to see my children.
First of all, you're not on trial. You in paternity court.
I never
know
doubted
you're-
the paternity.
I know you're upset.
At all.
But I need you to calm down. Bring it down a couple notches. I know you're upset.
My past was not perfect. What I'm saying is, yes, I've done some things, and I'm not perfect. No, I fall very short of that. But these women know that I love my children, and they know that.
You don't show it.
How don't I show it? I just took my baby out
it.
2 weeks ago.
Yeah, because
For
you
you,
said
what are you
I was
talking
taking
about?
you to court.
No, you know it had nothing to do with that. It had nothing to do with
Order.
that.
Let's get some order. Wow, you two.
I'm hurt.
These women stand before the court today and say that you haven't stepped up to the plate financially.
At that time, Your Honor, no, I was not.
And why was that?
Because at that
Explain
time,
that
I was
to
going
me.
through a lot myself. I was still a kid. We were having kids. I've been in group homes since I was 12 years old. All I know how to do is take care of myself. So when my kids came, no, I didn't know how to do that for the better part of my children. And I was doing music. I've been doing music since I was 12 years old. So I continued to do music. I went to school. I got a degree so I could be able to take care of my children right now. One thing my father always told me is if you can't take care of yourself, how are you going to take care of children? And I have 3. I don't have 1.
So
I have 3. And I had 2 at one time, being 18 years old on the street by myself. I signed the birth certificates. I never asked none of these women for paternity tests. I don't love my children. I don't want to be there for my children. No, that's not true.
Because you said your father always told you. Repeat that.
My father always told me if you can't do anything for yourself, how can you do anything for anybody else?
And then I would add to that, if you aren't in position to take care of yourself, why put yourself in the position when you're making children that you'll have to take care of?
My whole life has changed. I mean,
Tell me.
I'm an engineer, so I actually can make money. I travel. I do things to actually provide for my children. I can provide for the children. I can take them where they clothes and shoes and things of that.
done none of that.
Wait, please.
No.
Like, that's
Just
not
one
even true
moment.
because I just took my son out.
Mr. Barber,
Mr.
Barber, look at me. Have you sent Miss Taylor or Miss Johnson any money
Recently?
consistently?
Consistently, no, ma'am.
Miss Taylor, I need to hear your side. Mr. Barber, give her a chance. We have listened to your side. Miss Taylor,
Yes,
has
Your
he
Honor.
sent anything to help you with your child?
He bought my daughter 2 packs of diapers.
Okay. And how old is your daughter?
My
Never got
daughter is
that.
5 years old.
I never got 2 packs. I never got a pack.
And Miss Johnson, you saying you never got...
He never bought my son no diapers. I made do whatever I had to do to get my son diapers. He bought my son 3 pairs of shoes and 3 outfits.
That is so sad.
Miss Taylor, you have a list of expenses, am
Yes,
I
I do,
correct?
Your Honor.
And receipts that you've prepared for
Yes,
the
I
court
do, Your Honor.
to enumerate what you've spent, and do you
Yes.
have that with you?
Yes.
This is a ledger and also receipts for child care expenses. Now, these expenses that you have presented, they accurately depict what it takes to raise a child. Now, Mr. Barber, do you have anything to add before I make my ruling?
No, ma'am.
You know, it is this court's opinion that Ms. Taylor is, in fact, entitled to $3,608 in back child care expenses. Moving on. Ms. Johnson, you have provided countless receipts. This is for his uniform.
School uniform.
For school, diapers.
Very
Well,
animated.
these expenses are all reasonable and legitimate. And Mr. Barber, seeing as though you have acknowledged this child, signed his birth certificate, you have a responsibility to share in those expenses. And for that reason, I am awarding Ms. Johnson the $3,880 she's requesting for this court. Judgment for Ms. Johnson.
Cash, please.